So, I already filmed this video like an hour ago, but it was egregiously long and out of order, unfocused, all over the place, and I spent a lot of time crying. So, instead of uploading the hour and 45-minute long video, I'm gonna just redo it, but stay on task. For the order of everything, I think I want to start with Clara because it's shorter, and then the Noah and Tori stories. So, anyways, the main focal point was cutting people off when your relationship with them is starting to hurt. And it started a while ago with Noah, and it should have started with Tori, but it didn't. And I've really been putting it into practice lately, and now it is Clara. Basically, I was hanging out with Clara a few weeks ago, like the day after I filmed my last video of like, oh, it's getting better, but then it wasn't. So, Clara called my grief annoying, and she didn't clarify the day of. The next day, I talked to my therapist about it, and she's like, yeah, Cheyenne, you don't need to be friends with her. Like, obviously, she didn't just directly say that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop being friends with her because that really hurt my feelings, and I don't think I'm ever gonna see her the same. And my therapist was like, yeah, okay. I don't think it's gonna be good for you to hold on to this friendship either, if that's how you feel. So, yeah. So the next day, I like messaged her, and I like wanted clarification about my grief. So she like told me, and was like, well, I feel like I just can't be happy or enjoy anything without worrying about you. And I was just like, my answer was like, I tried to keep it short and sweet, but obviously I couldn't. It was 5 years of friendship. And to summarize the message, I was like, my grief is going to be something I experience for the rest of my life. You're lucky you don't have to live with grief like I do. And if you feel like my grief is annoying and it gets in the way of your happiness, then we cannot be friends. So, that's that. And like honestly, it didn't even hurt that bad cuz she had been like relatively shitty like the weeks leading up to this, cuz like in March, she offered to come see me the day of the anniversary of my best friend's death because, I guess everyone knew it was gonna suck for me. And, anyways, so she canceled on me, and then I was like trying to like maybe like plan to see her like sometime in the days before for something like, I don't know, like simple, basic. Like, you don't have to come spend the day with me. If like Wednesday doesn't work, you can like come like Monday or Tuesday or Sunday, just whenever. And she left me on scene for like days. And then, like, the day of, she's like, yeah, I'm just busy. Here's $10. Because I also asked if I could, like, at least call her. And she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be out late. And I'm like, so you made plans? Because, you offered to see me this day. So the fact that you are busy today indicates that you made plans. It wasn't like you were busy for real. You're just like, I don't know. I hate people who like plan shit and then cancel on you for different plans. Like, I don't know, it's like you're waiting for something better to come along. I don't know. Or like you found out something better was happening that day, so you decided to do that instead. Kind of bitchy, but whatever. I tried to believe her, but then like the first time I saw her afterwards was like that. And also it was like kind of annoying cuz like apparently she was like gonna have like dinner with one of her other friends and I'm like, girl, the plan to hang out was at 4 p.m. Why on earth would you make dinner plans around 5 when the hangout is supposed to start at 4? I haven't seen you in over a month. There's not a good way to compress this into 1 hour. But yeah, she compressed that shit. No, I did push through the rest of the hangout because I wasn't gonna be like, ugh, get out of my car. Walk home, bitch. Like, no. But yeah, no. So that happened. And basically, I'm just like practicing ending relationships and friendships and whatever when they start to hurt me instead of holding on to things that hurt really bad. Like, there are some things that just like put our relationship to the point of like, there's no coming back from this. Like, once you do or say something that changes the way I see you, there's no reason for us to be friends because now not only do I resent you, but also you did or said that thing. And some things are just like unacceptable to say or do, you know? Like, I've never found someone's grief annoying. And I feel like if I ever did, I would never say it ever. And maybe that's because I know what it's like to grieve. And I know it's a very vulnerable, horrible situation to be in. I don't know. But, anyways, so now I'm gonna like branch over to Noah because I recently cut him off too. Like, I should, like earlier in April because both of these things happened in April. I knew I was gonna cut off Noah for several months, and I've been questioning cutting him off for years. So it wasn't very difficult. But so the Noah situation, I'm gonna just start from the beginning of the timeline, and then eventually Tori is going to intersect with this timeline, and I'm basically going to be explaining my relationship with both of them on similar timelines once we get to the point where they intersect, because obviously I knew Noah longer than I knew Tori, but I met Noah in 8th grade. Weird time for sure. 8th grade was ended with COVID. But it was a weird time, like start to finish, just because like our friend group was really toxic. Because like of course it was like 8th grade. But so Noah dated this guy, and I say dated very loosely because like when you're in middle school, you can't like actually date someone. Like, you might stay together until you can actually date someone, but like I'd say 99% of middle school relationships are like kissing and holding hands at school and hanging out at parents' houses or going on dates in public with your parents, which therefore I don't think really count. I feel like a date counts when it can just be like you one-on-one. Like, I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. So Noah dated Noah Fleming for 1 to 3 weeks. Very short period of time. They break up, and later on, another girl from our friend group, Taya, starts dating Noah Fleming. Noah is seething mad. Hates Taya. Mind you, Noah and Noah Fleming broke up because Noah Fleming doesn't like boys. Simple as that. No reason for bad blood or the level of freak out Noah had. But anyways, so then later on, our friend group completely split. So I think it was like around October, because Taya was dating Ruby initially, and they broke up. And then Taya and Noah Fleming got together, and then I dated Harper. Again, very loose terms. I'm pretty sure I would define me and Harper's relationship as like more serious than Noah and Noah Fleming's, because it did last 3 months, and we did see each other outside of school quite a bit. But again, in middle school, and the closest we got to alone time was hanging out alone in our rooms at our parents' houses. So, you know, doesn't really count. But anyways, so Noah develops this fixation on Noah Fleming. Like, very one-sided, like drawing fan art of them together and shit. Really weird. And then the focus at some point shifts to Danny. And once Taya and Ruby broke up, Taya like kind of like left our friend group's orbit. And so did McKenna and my best friend. Because my best friend was actually dating Harper before I was. I do not know the extent of what happened. I wish I would have asked. But unfortunately, I am perpetually uncurious, and I am working on it. Because it's kind of weird not knowing a lot of stuff about some of my closest relationships. My cat is tweaking. But anyways, later on in the school year, Noah develops on a fixation on this guy named Danny. And Danny does not like Noah at all. I can kind of deduce why, but I never officially knew what was going on. But I think it had something to do with like Noah Fleming, like Danny and Noah Fleming were friends or some shit. Like, I don't know. But eventually, Noah has this like massive unrequited crush on Danny, and he also hates Danny at the same time. It was very weird. He's like, I want to fuck Danny, but I hate him. And it was weird. And at some point during the pandemic, during quarantine, I was in a group chat with Harper, Ruby, and Noah. I think that was it. I cannot remember. That's what me and Harper had broken up. Ruby and Harper out together. I didn't really care that much. I was just like, damn, okay, because like we broke up on my birthday, and then Ruby and Harper out together like immediately afterwards, and then like later on Harper like tried to like ruin my life, which was really weird because it happened like our senior year. My cat will not stop tweaking. But anyways, so okay, I'm sorry, I completely lost my train of thought because my cat was losing her shit. But anyways, Noah's talking crazy in the group chat about Danny. I messaged Danny because me and Danny like talked here and there. Like, he wasn't part of the friend group, and I tried to stay away from people that like Noah hated, because then the whole friend group would have a problem, and it was like Noah would go on like crazy tirades, and no one wanted to be on Noah's bad side. So I like messaged Danny and I'm like, hey, so like Noah's saying this about you. And I just want to know why. Like, what's going on? And he's like, I don't like Noah. And I like extra don't like him now that I know that he's saying he wants to fuck me. And he also hates me. Um, he can stay the fuck away from me. Please and thank you. And so I go to the group chat and I tell Noah, hey, Danny doesn't like you and really wants you to stop telling people that you want to fuck him. And he loses his shit, and everyone in the group chat's mad at me and is like, Cheyenne, you shouldn't have told him that. You know he hasn't handled things well. And all that, and that's when I stopped being friends with Noah. I didn't hear from him at all during, like, 9th grade, which was, like, the COVID year. I started high school in 2020. So, a lot of people were online. Noah was online. Ruby, like, completely dropped out. Like, she went to school online and never came back. Harper and I briefly became friends again, but eventually we just like stopped talking and it was like whatever. But will I remember to talk about like how Harper tried to ruin my life later on in the story? Hopefully. But anyways, so Noah and I don't talk again until my freshman year, or not freshman, god, sophomore year. Our sophomore year is really weird for me specifically. I went to school in August, September, October, and like halfway through November is when I stopped going to school. So I got put in the psych ward in September, and November I got sent home from school almost every day because I was getting bullied. And for some reason, when I would like self harm, even like if it was at home or if it was at school, because it was happening everywhere, because my life absolutely fucking blew like extra bad at the time. Like my life already blows, but it was like significantly worse at the time because I was under my parents' roof. And this was after I tried to come out as trans. I don't know why I did that. It was really stupid because I'd already been outed as being a lesbian and I knew my mom wasn't going to take it well. And like coming out as trans is how I ended up like detransitioning in the first place. Like, had I come out at a safer time and dealt with like a safe space to be out, maybe I would have like been able like fully transition and live my life. But no. I found my way back into the closet pretty quick. But anyways, that school year when I was there, I was talking to Noah, I think. I can't remember if we were like actually talking in person or just texting. But he had this obsession with one of my other friends, Vlad. And again, this is like kind of like the invisible string theory. Me and Tori had multiple opportunities to run into each other for like 3 years before we actually met. Which is kind of funny because then we were together for 3 years. It's like that was the length predetermined that we were supposed to spend together. I don't know. But Vlad was like chilling, minding his business. I believe talking to children. I don't think he was talking to little kids yet. Because he did groom a 12-year-old when he was like 19. We'll get there. But anyways, so I think he was like 17 at the time. I don't know why that matters. But anyways, so Noah's like fixated on Vlad. Vlad and I aren't close or anything. We message here and there, and we had a class together, and he ended up getting moved out of that class. And after that, I didn't really talk to him or anything. I just remember we like were messaging over the summer on Instagram. I think I know we had like overlapping friend groups, so that was part of it. I honestly don't remember much. This whole time in my life, I've mostly repressed because it was really bad. But anyways, so my life was like going to hell. I was rarely at school when I was, all that. Noah is obsessed with Vlad. Eventually, I like sent Vlad screenshots of what Noah was saying about Vlad to me because I was like, I didn't know Vlad was like gross, yucky, ew, and I don't even think he did what he did yet, from what I understand. So, Vlad was a victim at this point. Um, and so I cannot remember what ended up happening after that. I'm pretty sure I went to the psych ward shortly after, and I do not remember if anything ever came of this or not. Literally have no clue. But it is what it is. So I go to youth villages at some point, and I don't come back till junior year. And the summer after sophomore year was weird. I broke my back, had no friends, and was in IOP all summer. Intensive outpatient is what IOP stands for, in case you guys are wondering. But, anyways, so the whole Noah and Vlad thing happens. I get out, my junior year starts, and this is when my life turned upside down, I guess. I get back from YB, Noah starts talking to me. I'm pretty sure this is, from what I understand, the time he was obsessed with Alex, which I was not aware of, and was not aware of for quite some time after. But this was like during the Alex situation, I believe, which we will get into later. But one day, Noah is in the cafeteria with his head down, and I'm like, hey man, what's wrong? And he tells me to fuck off, and I do. Junior year was a very weird and very bad time to me. I got diagnosed with cancer, which was like bad at the time, I'd imagine. Do I remember? Not really, no. I started dating Tori. I think I'd met Tori at the time Noah told me to fuck off. Honestly, the timeline is so jumbled in my head, I could not tell you. But anyways, so I do not cross paths with Noah again till some ways into the first semester of our senior year. So, about a year after he told me to fuck off. I am a different person now. Obviously, I survived having cancer for what I didn't know at the time, the first of 3 times. Yay. And also got raped by 2 different people, which was less than ideal. Obviously experienced all kinds of abuse because of Tori. And I was about to experience some more. Yay for me. So, I'm not aware of what point the allegations, it's not even allegations if it was proven to be true, but the Vlad pedo, everything came out. From what I have gathered, I believe it was sometime in February, my junior year, Vlad's senior year, when he was 19. Because, if I remember correctly, Tori started being friends with Vlad again after many years of not being friends with him because they dated. And this was because Vlad had recently lost all of his friends. And I wonder what caused that. And also, around that time, one of my friends, Charlie, was like, oh yeah, I heard from Robbie that Vlad's a pedophile. I'm like, do you have proof? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, this kind of checks out. The more I find out, the more I'm like, oh, this is not good. Unfortunately, Tori did not agree. But anyways, back to my senior year. So, I am hungry. I do not want to go home, but I am very sick from not eating. It is second period. I am asking around for snacks so that I can just have a snack and not get sent home for not eating and feeling sick. Because they loved to send me home, and bad things would happen when they sent me home. So I was really hoping to not have bad things happen. Luckily, Noah was like, here, have this. And it was a Pop-Tart. I had my Pop-Tart, we start talking. One of his first questions for me, if not his first, are you still dating Tori? Yes, sir, I am. Is she still friends with Vlad? And I said no, confidently, which was not true, but I thought it was true. I was like, well, I know about the Vlad stuff, and I told her, and I think she's finally like coming to her senses and not friends with them anymore. I've been begging her for months now, because this conversation, I believe, took place in August, and everything with Vlad started in February. I am pretty sure that the first time Tori broke up with me was to be with Vlad. Would she ever admit it? No. Would I ever speak to Vlad about it? Also, no. So, I will never actually know. Because Tori is a liar and a cheater. So, I would be none the wiser. But, anyways, so shortly after this, Tori causes a problem for me, which is a common theme for Tori because she sucks. So, anyways, this is where the Noah Tori story intersects, by the way. It will continue to intersect for the majority of the rest of this video. And I'm already almost half an hour in, so I think it's going to be long no matter how I do it. Anyways, so I start hanging out with Noah a lot because I have a driver's license at this point. I had not had a driver's license before. I never really got to hang out with anyone besides like Tori and Charlie because of that. I got to hang out with Cassie sometimes though, but I didn't really get to start hanging out with her on a regular basis until I got my driver's license, and even then, we didn't hang out that much because she was always busy babysitting Cooper, her little brother, so. But it is what it is. Anyways, so me and Noah start hanging out, and like, then Tori starts acting weird again. By acting weird, let me explain myself. So, Tori at this point had broken up with me twice before. The first time, it was out of the blue to me, cause I didn't know what was going on. Cause, you see, she was grounded, so she wasn't really allowed to see me, and her mom would let her come see me if she stayed with her. And mind you, Tori's mom had custody, and Tori was a minor still. So, Tori's mom was like, hey, all you have to do is actually spend time with me, and you can also go see Cheyenne, and she wouldn't even do that. So, I knew something was up. Could I prove it? No. But I knew something was up. This was shortly after the first time I tried to break up with her, where she had a panic attack and threw a bitch fit and threatened to kill herself, and even her dad was like, hey, if you continue, you're going to Valley, which was the local psych ward. I wish he would have made her go, because maybe she would have gotten normal. But he had not, and she had not. And a lot of bad things happened to me. Worse than what had already happened to me. Because the first time I tried to break up with her before she ever broke up with me, she also raped me 3 weeks before, which was the first time she raped me, and the second time I'd been raped because I had gotten raped very shortly before I started dating Tori, by a guy that pretended to want to be friends with me, and then he did that, and yeah, and I'm not gonna talk about it more. I'm already starting to feel weird and bad, and I don't want to feel this weird and bad. So we're gonna glaze past that now. So then the second time, Tori actually did break up with me, like a little over a month after I tried to break up with her, and then we were apart for a month. She got very close to Vlad. Very weird, very bad time to be me. We got back together after like a month, and that was that. And then over the summer, again, after hanging out with Vlad and her a couple times, she breaks up with me again in the middle of the night, and I did not handle it well at all. I went outside and screamed, and I'm pretty sure I cut myself. Not 1,000% sure. If I did, she didn't know. I cut myself all the time back then. This was before I got clean. So if I were to cut myself, it would not have been news. And also, I very vividly remember cutting myself sometime the month before. So I wouldn't be surprised. But anyways, so I go outside, I scream, I'm mad, I'm angry, and then Tori pretends to forget my stuff the next day, and we get back together. So she caused a very significant amount of emotional distress and harm to me, because, again, the random breakups for no reason in the middle of the night, like, isn't good for you, and after it happens once, it's like, it gets worse with every time it happens. But, yeah, so I'm stuck with Tori again. And then she was fine for a few months, and then she wasn't. So now we're back to the Noah Tori story, because they intersect, because Tori ate my life. So, anyways, Noah actually provides the screenshots to me, because, like, I've been trying to make Tori cut Vlad off for quite some time now. About 6, 7 months at this point. So, anyways, Tori breaks up with me after some time of acting weird. Her weird, like, emotionally distant, like, only having me go over there, not coming to me every time we hang out. It's just, like, laying in bed, asleep, and fucking, and that's it. And anyways, so that happens for, like, a few days. I tried to break up with her. She cuts herself. I go over there, give her stuff back, and she's laying in bed, covered, like, thighs to stomach, like, covered in scars. So I'm like, oh no, I can't leave. Before, when I tried, it was only a threat. Now you've, like, for sure done something, which is not good. So I should probably stay. And then, like a week after that, Tori breaks up with me again. And Noah and I have gotten close enough for him to be there for me, which this is a time of my life I will not miss, but I will miss that time with Noah where we could just vibe and we were on the same page in life. Because the way things ended, we were not. But we are good pals. And then I go crazy. Bad crazy. I go to the psych ward for going bad crazy. Before I go, I tell Tori. Mind you, we'd been speaking here and there the whole time, so it wasn't bizarre for me to tell her I was going. Anyways, so I go to the psych ward. Tori gets another girlfriend while I'm in the psych ward. Later, I did find out that she thought I was lying and I wasn't actually going to the psych ward. That I was just trying to get her attention, which is a bizarre assumption to make, cause one thing about me is I'm going to the psych ward. Like, if I say I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be there. The end, period. So, anyways, I get out, I call Noah, and then I call Tori after finding out she has another girlfriend on Telenym, which was an app where you could ask people questions that I introduced her to. I found out she had another girlfriend. I was like, hey, so like, you have another girlfriend. When did that happen? Because, you know, it was like my business in the sense of like, she'd already pushed into like, I'm not gonna say cheater grounds for sure, but she was like along the lines of cheating on me before. So I was like, I wonder. Apparently they got together while I was in the psych ward, and Tori was for sure not over me. So like, my nose will not stop running because I like cried a bunch earlier, but whatever. Anyways, so this is so annoying, but me and Tori talk. We're planning on hanging out. Noah is like, fuck her, man. Fuck her. Do something good with your life. Like, you can do better than her, which is true. But unfortunately, I was 17, and I didn't know that yet. So I'm all hung up on this still. Mind you, I'm 17, and I've dealt with more than a lot of adults have dealt with in a relationship at this point. Anyways, so Tori, after planning to hang out with me, is like, actually, I'm still in love with you. And I also love my girlfriend. So I need to stop loving you. So we can't hang out. And I am fully at peace with this. I don't know why, but it was the most like in peace, accepting of not being with her I'd ever had. I was like, perfect. So she's for sure not coming back from me. And I can move on with my life. Right? Wrong. So a week after that, she messages me. Well, we broke up. 9 in the morning, by the way. Early as fuck. So, anyways, obviously, her first mission after leaving that relationship is she needs to be in another one, preferably with me. So, that happens. We talk, we plan to hang out. Noah's pissed because he's spent the last like month and a half with me going insane, trying to help me not be insane anymore. And so Noah calls me a whore when we get back together, among other things. He also asked if he can kill her as a joke. So for a while, I'm trying to sell Noah on Tori. I'm like, she's great. Was she great? No, those 2 months, which by the way, was the shortest time I'd ever spent with Tori, with like out breaking up. So those 2 months are not very good, to be quite frank. We're still spending the majority of our time in bed and fucking, and that's it. And then this is where my life took a drastic turn for the worst. And I was not blissfully, unfortunately, unaware. There was no bliss about it. So, from what I have gathered, a few days before Christmas, approximately a week before Tori left again, she started dating another girl online in Oregon. Which I did not find out about till 8 months later. Yay. So the last time I saw Tori, like, hung out with her, she left me in her room all day. I was texting Noah and he's like, just leave her. Like, why don't you just go home? And eventually he like talks me into having enough courage to like leave her room. And Tori catches me on my way out the door because I fully thought I could sneak out without her noticing and leave and never come back. But no, she's like, I'm sorry, I thought you were mad at me, so I didn't come in and check on you. And I was just cooking for Christmas. And da 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 da. Pretty sure she left me in her room to avoid remembering that she has a whole ass girlfriend IRL that she shouldn't be cheating on. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. So I don't leave. I should have, but then the next day she leaves. This is a very bad time for me because she projected like hell when she left. She's like, you give up on everything before you even had a chance to try. And you've ruined my life. You're the reason I have no friends. Right. She lists off the friends she's not friends with because of me. And I'm like, isn't that bizarre? Back to the Noah timeline. I read the screenshots that he sent me from Vlad grooming a literal child out loud to her because she wouldn't just read them when I sent them to her when she was hanging out with Vlad and some of our friends without me after I told her I'd like to go as well. Not just because these are also my friends, but because Vlad's gonna be there and I don't like Vlad and how you act around him. But no. So I sent her the screenshots while they were hanging out, and then she didn't read them, said she was not going to read them. She said, I'm deleting these, like, now. And so I read them to her the next day. Good shit. So anyways, she breaks up with me and is like, you ruined my life. You're the reason I have no friends. And you give up on everything before giving it a chance. And all this shit. And none of it was true. It hurt really bad at the time, and like I knew it wasn't true, and it pissed me off because I was like, why is she actually breaking up with me? Because I know it's not this. It is not because I give up on things. Because one thing about me is I never give up. Ever. I am resilient. I am gonna persevere. I've survived all kinds of crazy shit. I don't give up. Hello? Giving up, not me. Could never be me. Do I think about giving up on stuff? Yeah. Do I? No. So I was like, okay, that's not true. Did I ruin your life? No. The people you listed that you're not friends with because of me are not because of me. Oh yeah, back to the Harper intersecting with this. Harper started dating one of Tori's friends and convinced Tori to break up with me in September. That was part of why she left, apparently. I still to this day have no idea what she said, but she apparently said it to a lot of people, and that's part of why Noah stopped being friends with me. And why Charlie briefly stopped being friends with me, because he was dating Harper and believed whatever the fuck Harper had going on. And yeah, so I thought we didn't have problems. I thought we just stopped talking because we didn't have classes together anymore. But no, apparently Harper had some one-sided beef I was blissfully unaware of that affected my life senior year, 3 years after we stopped talking. But yeah, Harper's not gonna see this, but Harper, if you're watching this, like, fuck you. Please and thank you. Bye. Anyways, so, she blames me for Vlad not being friends with her. I'm like, bitch, Vlad's a pedophile. What does this have to do with me other than making sure you're aware he's a pedophile? Like, do you miss being friends with a pedophile? Like, be so real right now. And then he, like, is like, and Logan, and I'm like, bitch, what happened with Logan? And she's like, well, he was making fun of you and I stood up for you and that's why we're not friends anymore, which was not the real reason. I know the real reason, but I didn't find out till a long time after that. So I had no idea that Logan was actually completely not my fault. I didn't find out, I think, till the first time I went through her phone, which was almost a year after that. But she told Logan that, I can't remember what Logan said, but Tori said, at least I have someone who loves me, which is something you'll never have. I didn't make her say that. I didn't want her to say that, quite frankly. If I knew she was gonna say that, I would have stopped her, because I liked Logan. He was a good guy. He was chill. And then Tori fucking did that. Like, I used to get along really well with all her friends before, like, she did that, and Vlad was a pedophile, and Nick decided to date Harper, and Harper had enough beef with me to convince Nick to convince Tori to break up with me, which, again, like, I still to this day have no idea what Harper was telling people. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, 48 minutes in and I'm still not done. So anyways, so Tori's cheating on me. I have no idea. This time, instead of leaning on Noah, because I know he's mad as fuck, I just die. Like, Bella Swan, New Moon, die. There's a possibility, die. It's over. I'm done with. So I die for 2 months. Tori blocks me on everything, which is weird because she had never done that before. So I'm like, this is bizarre. And like, eventually she privated her account, which was even more bizarre because I'm like, she's like super hiding something. Like, mind you, I accepted the breakup. I wasn't gonna like message her again. Was I stalking her? Kind of. Why was I stalking her? Because she blamed me for ruining her life and not having friends, and it wasn't true. And she straight up told me that I give up on everything, and I don't. So obviously, I'm like, okay, what's the real reason? You know? But she privated her account, so not only could I not see her stuff, no one could. I wonder what she may have been hiding. Could it be another girlfriend? Who knows? So anyways, This is actually how I found out about Aubrey's existence. Not that she was Tori's girlfriend or anything, but actually Tori's Spotify, which she was still logged in on my TV, and I saw like a playlist she had made that was clearly like a crush playlist. And when Tori, like February, she broke up with me at the end of December, and at the end, like middle to end of February, she starts stalking my TikTok and my sister's TikTok. And that's how I know that she's doing some weird shit. So I message her. She's like, "Oh, I just miss you. Do you want to hang out?" And like we like sexted like literally that night, and then we like hung out the next day. And she was kind of hesitant to sleep with me. Not in a like I was like forcing myself onto her way. She's like, "Are you sure you want to sleep with me? Like, don't you want to like build trust with me again first?" And I was like, "No, I don't care." So then she was like, "Okay, let's have sex then." So, um, yeah. So that happens. Noah does not know any of this until the first day back at school, where I enlighten him and everyone else that sits at our table at lunch. I come in bright eyed, bushy tailed. Guess what I did this weekend? And Noah said, "If you slept with or got back with Tori, I'm going to kill you." I'm like, "Well, this is the first time I started lying about her. We aren't back together, but I did sleep with her." Right. Okay. Both of those things aren't true, but it's okay. You can. Yeah, so then I start trying to sell him on Tori again. I'm like, "See, everything's fine and it's great and I'm happy." I don't know why I keep doing that voice, but anyways, so eventually, like, this was like the best 6 months I ever spent with Tori, which is the weirdest part of it all. Is she was cheating on me for like most of the time, and yet like was treating me better than she had ever treated me before, and like the emotional abuse like stopped. It was so weird. I did try to break up with her once at the beginning of May. I think it was May. It might. No, it was for sure May. And she like did not handle it well. She never did. She like cried and like crawled into my shirt and it's like, "Let's go for a drive." So we went for a drive and I stayed. And she didn't leave, which was weird because normally if I tried to leave, that meant she was gonna leave. But I didn't. So yeah. Noah started hanging out with me and Tori sometimes. Everything was good, everything was chill. Until August. It is 2024 now, in August. And I wake up to 3 different people messaging me. The first that I open is Noah, which is rather unfortunate. Um, he messages me, "Hey, this girl was looking for you. She says she dated Tori from December 2023 to May 2024, and apparently Tori told her that y'all started dating a couple weeks after they had broken up, which I know is not true, and I am so sorry, Cheyenne." And then I open the message from Aubrey. It's nothing crazy yet, but she's like, "Hey, I'm kind of looking for you in a personal investigation and your friend pointed me your direction. Do you know Estella Historia, also known as Tori? And then I already know that, like, where this is going. So then I opened my messages from Tori. Good morning, wife. I love you. Wife? Wife, wake up. Wife, someone from January is trying to start shit, and you need to block them. I already know what happened. It is not someone from January when we were broken up. You cheated on me for 6 months. And I hate you. I didn't say any of that. I just looked at the messages. My focus immediately shifted to Aubrey. So I talked to Aubrey. I got some screenshots of things that were said between the two of them. And I'm like, well, fuck me, I guess. Those are pretty damning screenshots. And it was really disgusting, and I cried a lot because she was sexting and telling this girl she loved her while I had cancer for the second time. And yeah, it really sucked. That, and obviously, like, she dumped me like a few weeks before my birthday, but she'd already like gotten my birthday gift. And like, seeing what she was messaging Aubrey like on my birthday, like, I don't know, it was weird and sad. But just like looking back at the days and remembering what was happening on the days that she was sending screenshots, I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. So Noah knows. Then I pick up my phone again, yell at Tori. I'm coming up there. I'm getting all your shit in a bag right now. I will be there in the next 2 hours. And then I get there, I scream at her, I scream and I scream and I scream. And she has all this like ammo of things to hold against me in this argument that she is very clearly losing. She is actively trying to walk back everything. Mind you, I know the time frame of everything happening, yet she is still trying to lie. She's like, well, I met her after I broke up with you, and I just didn't break up with her until May. She also said that she broke up with her as soon as we got back together, that they'd only sexted while we were broken up, nothing more, and none of it was true at all. So yeah, so I go to Noah's, pick him up, we go back to my apartment, and this is back to Noah's like weird obsessions with people. He's obsessed with this girl that lives in Texas that doesn't like him back. And I am still messaging Aubrey getting like the specifics of what happened. Cause like there's a lot to say here. You know? Like there's a lot to say. So eventually Aubrey's like, oh yeah, make sure she doesn't have any of your nudes or anything, because I'm pretty sure she shares that stuff around. Actually, I'm sure she does. There's this video of you that she sent me that looks just like you and has the exact same hair you had in your prom photos with her. I'm like, awesome, great. And she's like, yeah, she told me you were an ex. I'm like, we were dating the whole time. And also, even if I was, like, that's super illegal. And I'm like, damn, she's lucky that this didn't happen when I was a minor, because she would be going to super prison. But, yeah. So, I was like, I'm gonna press charges. Aubrey didn't really want me to press charges, which is part of why I didn't press charges at the time, because Aubrey had just done me a real solid. Um, but anyways, I find this out. I'm distressed. Noah does not care. All he cares about is this girl that does not like him and being mad about that and not being a supportive friend. I should not be having to support you through an unrequited crush when my girlfriend of 2 years cheated on me and I found out today. Hello. You are here to support me, not bitch and moan about a girl who does not like you. So, yeah, that was another sign I should have not been friends with Noah anymore that I ignored. So, I get back with Tori again after a 2 week break, which is so stupid. Why did I do this? I don't know. But basically, um, Tori wanted me to stay with her, and then after screaming at her, she's like, actually, no. But then we were talking about it, and then we agreed that it would just be a break for me to think. It wasn't really a break for me to think, though. It was a break for Tori to fuck Mercy, but we're not even to that part yet. Mercy was like this online friend of Tori's that I had my suspicions about for various reasons. Well, the first I'd ever heard of Mercy was her like hitting on Tori when I did Tori's makeup and she sent it to like Mercy. And so then I started hearing way more than I ever would have liked to know about Mercy's sex life. And I'm like, yeah, okay. That's enough. Why do you know this? Why am I getting play-by-plays of Mercy's sexual encounters? Please spare the details. Tell Mercy to spare the details too, because this isn't any of your business either. But yeah, no. So the Mercy shit escalates around the time I caught Tori cheating on me. So that's kind of funny. I don't know if Tori was gonna hardcore cheat again the whole time, or if like she found like enough of a space to try justify it. So yeah, we're kind of on this like break for me to think. She texts Mercy like every day, which I didn't find out about for a very long time. But eventually, I'm like, I don't want to see or hear from you till New Year's. At this point, it was like August 31st. It was my best friend's birthday. And then I go see my best friend for the last time while she's alive. And almost the entire hangout was focused on unpacking what Tori did to me. Which really sucks. Because I would have loved to talk about anything and everything if I would have known. God, I cried about this last time too. I don't want to cry. Okay, my cat is helping. She just like came skidding around, just did like a massive jump off of this cat tower I have for her in here. But anyways, so my ex, again, didn't know this at the time, promised to stay loyal, promised she wouldn't date anyone, talk to anyone, sleep with anyone, touch anyone at all until I say I don't want her anymore. Until I end the break. She's gonna stay loyal. And she fucked Mercy the last day I saw my friend alive. It's crazy how things happen that way. So a few days after that, Instagram recommends this account. And I wholeheartedly believe that if this account wasn't also followed by and following Tori's main account, which was still following me, and I was following, I wouldn't have ever found this account. She could have made it out clean. Things could have been so different again. But I go through the account. It was started the day before I found out, which is really ironic. But I scroll through all the posts. The most recent post is talking about a date she went on that was really nice. You're not supposed to be on a date right now. You actually promised you wouldn't do that. Mind you, this is like 2-3 days max after, like, she posted this. She slept with Mercy like the day after. It was planned like the day I said, but they fucked the day after. I digress. So anyways, I confront Tori about it. I knew it was gonna be Mercy, but she's like, yeah, it was Mercy, and it was more of a hangout, if anything. Her words, verbatim. It wasn't really a date, more of a hangout, if anything. Which was so far from the truth. It was more like a hookup, if anything, if you ask me. So yeah, pretty cool. Not really though. So she at first blocks me on everything after I confront her about it, and then I drive to Alabama for some reason. Like, I'm really mad, so I'm like, fuck it, let me drive to Alabama about this. And anyways, so that night when I get back, I get to talking with her, and we end up like, wait, no, I didn't talk to her that night. That night she had blocked me. It was a few days after that, because, like, okay, now that I think about the timeline, September 1st was the day she fucked Mercy. Last time I saw my friend alive. September 4th is when she posted about going on that date. I think it might have been the 2nd or 3rd, but I saw it for sure on the 4th. That's when she blocks me on everything. And then September 6th rolls around. She's unblocked me. I hang out with my friend, and then I get home and I call her, and we spend 5 hours on the phone, and she's sorry, and we catch up, and she still denies that she fucked Mercy. And she comes over like the next day or like a couple days after. Pretty sure it was the next day. And she hugs me and is like, oh, I've missed you so much. And I'm like, I miss you too. And I ask if I can kiss her, and she's like, yeah. So we kiss and we make out, and we're in my bed. And then she's like, I want to marry you. Oh. She'd been saying that forever. She started saying that like the 3rd day of us dating, like, ever. Like, all those years ago. She said it like October 3rd, which is also the Mean Girls Day, but we started dating October 1st, 2022. Yeah. So, anyways, because Noah has been completely unsupportive these last few weeks, I do not tell him I'm back with Tori. And so time goes by, I'm pressing the hell out of Tori. I'm like, did you really just hang out with Mercy? Because I don't think that's true. And you know I don't think that's true. Because when I yelled at you in your driveway, I told you that you're gonna fuck Mercy next. And so, anyways, Um, Eventually she comes clean and she's like, okay, I fucked Mercy. And I'm like, awesome. But that's not what happened, actually. It was so not awesome. The event happened. What's the event? I got 9 stitches because I cut myself because of Tori. And I don't like to blame people, but I was 9 months clean at the time. Nothing else would have prompted me to do that. I wholeheartedly believe it because I haven't cut myself since. My best friend died and I didn't cut myself. Like, I don't even know. But she tells me after we'd been on the phone for 2 hours and I was about to have to go to bed, and she knew I was about to have to get off the phone to go to bed. She's like, oh yeah, I slept with Mercy. And I don't know how much time had passed, but when I came to, I was on my knees with my wrist pressed at the foot of my bed with a gnarly cut on my arm. And I said shit and I hung up. Um, I called my mom. She couldn't understand me, so I hung up and took a picture and was like, do I need to go to the ER? Please tell me I don't have to. Please tell me I don't need stitches. And she's like, honey, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to go to the ER. That needs stitches. Like, not optional. Man. And Tori starts blowing up my phone. Like, she has not stopped. And I called Noah next. Noah's not supportive. He does not care. So I just hung up because, like, Tori wouldn't stop fucking calling me. Mind you, Noah never called back. He never checked on me, which was really shitty in hindsight. But, anyways, so I tried to break up with Tori that night, and she would not stop calling. My phone actually died in the emergency room because she would not stop calling and texting me. And I told her explicitly that I don't want to see her ever again, that I hate her, and she needs to turn her ass around because she was coming to see me and she was demanding to know what hospital I was at. I'm like, you're not going to the hospital with me, bitch. You're not. You're just not. And so, anyways, I get my stitches. She guilt trips me and love bombs me into staying with her. She took me on the Build-A-Bear date that I'd been begging her to take me on for 2 years. She made some of my favorite food. She watched all the Twilight movies with me, gave me massages every night, played with my hair, and was just so sweet. And it didn't last very long, but it lasted long enough for me to feel bad about trying to leave again. And eventually, a few months later, I think it was like November, when we started having the screaming match arguments, which were new. And every time I tried to leave, she wouldn't let me, which was really weird considering how things were about to end. One day when she was supposed to come over in January, we spent like most of the night on the phone, FaceTiming. She was supposed to come over in the morning. I told her what time I was gonna set my alarms based on when she was gonna get here. And I woke up to my alarm that I set so I'd wake up on time for her getting here. And she sent me like this massive paragraph about how like she has to do stuff for herself and how she has to do things that she doesn't want to do and make me happy and all this shit. And I'm like, towards the end, all I asked of her was to stop screaming at me and to stay loyal. but she couldn't even do that. And so Noah carried me through a lot of it. And then a few months after that, when my best friend died, I found out some more about what Noah did when Taya and Alex happened, which I never got to. But basically, sometime while I was like dating Tori, when I was like being hardcore abused after she cheated on me, she also was like raping me almost every night because I told her to do whatever it takes to not cheat on me again, which somehow required her taking my clothes off and raping me in my sleep. And I would often wake up in the act of her doing it to me, and she would do it when I had like school in the morning or an exam. And like it was like on purpose, I swear. She was like doing it when I had important shit to do. So I would go to everything really shook up and very underslept, and it was bad. But anyways, so some point, like one of the few times I hung out with Noah, because mind you, when I was dating Tori again, it was like I had to not be around anyone because I was not going to tell anyone what I was doing because Noah had made me feel like such an idiot, and everyone was so mad at Tori that I decided to just not tell anyone, and the easiest way to not tell anyone is to not be around anyone. So, my, like, sometime in October, I think it was October, because it was after I cut myself, and after Tori introduced her little, like, I'm gonna propose by New Year's timeline, she did not propose, which is good, because I wanted out really bad, but annoying, because, bitch, why'd you even, like, do that? Like, I thought my life was gonna end, and my life was a ticking time bomb till New Year's. Because I didn't know what was gonna happen if I stayed till then, if I was gonna be able to say no, or if I was gonna be able to just get out. Like, what was gonna happen to me? Would I be forced into marrying her? Who knows? Because she was so emotionally abusive about me trying to leave her that I could never do it. But she had no problems leaving me. And a lot of the times, because it was a very bad trauma bond that I had to her, I'd beg her to stay with me, which is really embarrassing considering everything she was doing to me. But, anyways, so in October, Noah tells me about the Alex situation and how he was friends with Alex and had a really big crush on her. And Alex was trans, and he got her a dress and like all this shit. Alex didn't want to come out, but eventually, like, she was wearing the dress around her house and the strap broke, and Taya fixed it, and her and Taya started dating, and he was really upset about it. Put him in the psych ward because Alex clearly had a crush on him and wanted to be with him, and Taya kind of snatched her up out from under him. And then when my best friend died, and I was talking to Taya, because Taya was also my friend, I'd never really gotten her side of the Alex story. I think I had at that point, but I didn't know the severity of it. She told me that, like, basically, like, her and Noah have the same taste in people. Alex didn't want to come out as trans, and Noah was very much pressuring her to. Noah was being really creepy and obsessive towards Alex to the point where Alex didn't even want to be friends with him anymore. And Noah decided to just make a huge scene about it, and it was never really like Alex wasn't even gonna like ever pick him because he never like Alex never liked him. Anyways, so when my best friend dies, I find out more information. Apparently, Noah ran around and told everyone Taya was transphobic after the Alex situation, and that's how she stopped being friends with my best friend. Cassie was also friends with Noah, and like Cassie kind of believed Noah and asked Taya about it, and Taya was like, if you're really gonna be like believing Noah and like still being friends with him and shit, I don't want anything to do with you, because Noah made like a huge scene and caused a bunch of problems between her and Alex at the time. But yeah, so that put a bad taste in my mouth about Noah, because now Taya has to live with the guilt, and yeah. But then like also that December with Tori, no, I started getting really obsessed with this coworker Andrew and was also drawing fan art with Andrew. And I was gonna stop being friends with him, but then he started dating Brandon. Everything was chill until like it wasn't. Noah carried me through like the breakup with Tori, and um everything was great until like we got back together. He was really mad. He was the first person I would go to when things went wrong though. Like when I first messaged Tori and she apologized and everything, I called Noah having a complete fucking panic attack, and he like calmed me down. And then when I got back with Tori, I didn't tell him we were like officially back together. We were just having sex and I was still in love with her. But she had to do a lot to prove herself, which she was supposed to be doing. She never made it to the timeline I needed her to make it to, and she never proved herself, and she left before she ever could. But, you know, oh yeah, back to the point of January, she blocked me on everything, and that was really annoying because I tried to leave, and it was really annoying that I couldn't even get the last fucking word in. I couldn't be the one to leave after all those times I tried. And I didn't, I was like upset also because I really didn't want all that suffering to be for nothing. I don't know why I wouldn't just like let go and find someone that treats me right and makes me happy. I don't know why I held on to her. And I got with my ex Sophia like immediately after us breaking up, which was kind of not great on my part. I met her like a few days after the breakup, and then like we started dating within like 3 weeks of knowing each other, which was bad because I ended up accidentally dating a drug addict, and she was really mean. But that's, I don't think I'm ever gonna make a full video about her. That was really like uneventful, and like there were only like a few things worth noting, and that being a drug addict was one of them. So yeah. So anyways, when I got back with Tori, she had a few stipulations she was supposed to meet that she never could meet, and it's really shitty on her part because then she ran to her friends with all this shit that wasn't true. Like, she told her friends that I cut myself during the event because she wouldn't talk to me, which is so sad that I couldn't get the voicemail to like send with the sound on, because it would have been really like damning evidence against her with that. But anyways, so she had to let me meet all her friends because you know she had a habit of being friends with pedophiles, people she was gonna cheat on me with, people she was talking shit about me with, people that had a relatively large impact on our relationship. And I basically was like, I want to meet all your friends before you hang out with them again. And instead of like arranging for me to meet them, she just like was like, Cheyenne's controlling me, and so was like, can't have friends, and she's evil and crazy. And it's like, bitch, that's like all you had to do was let me meet them. It was so simple. And I began like pushing, like cracking down, like pushing my boundaries back, thinking that would like help. But obviously didn't, because like compromising your boundaries never helps. But I was like, how about like if you can just prove you're not cheating on me, you can hang out with your friends again. And she's like, well, no, I'll feel bad that you didn't get to like meet them first and everything. And it's like, now that I know she was never gonna let me meet them, I would have broke up with her. But whatever. Well, I did try to break up with her multiple times, so that's neither here nor there. But things were really good for like the first month and a half of our relationship, but then Halloween, like everything went insane. She tried to hit me. I called Noah and had like the worst panic attack of my life. He talked me down. Meanwhile, Tori was like lying in my floor crying after I yelled at her because again, she tried to hit me. I cannot emphasize that enough. I wasn't screaming at her for no reason. She tried to hit me. Because I'm pretty sure she told her friends that, like, I was verbally abusing her by screaming at her. And I just want to, like, remind everyone that anytime I screamed at her, it was provoked and I wanted out so bad. I just didn't know how to get out. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that was kind of. This video is not much shorter than the other one, and it's almost over, but Noah, back to the Noah thing. He was very helpful during the Tori thing until he wasn't. Eventually, he got to the point where he was just berating me for being with her and around her and sleeping with her and everything. And that made me too embarrassed and scared to like ask for actual help because I knew I was not getting out by myself. I needed people to, first of all, hold me accountable and not let her come back. Realistically, I was probably going to need support with her reaction because I knew she wasn't just going to leave me alone. Like, I couldn't just block her, she'd be at my door. I couldn't just break up with her in person because every time I would try, she'd just lay on the floor, scream at me, panic, cry, threaten suicide, cut herself, whatever. And so once I was finally out, Noah was pretty good and chill. He even threatened to go to her house to get my hat that Miss Cannon made for me back because I was pretty sure Tori took it. And mind you, Tori said that she would always be available to reach. So I did ask her about the hat multiple times and she did not answer. Neither did she answer like any other time I tried to reach out to her, which was really annoying because it's like, bitch, just tell me you don't want to talk to me. I'll leave you alone if you just say it with your chest, you know? Don't tell me you're always available to reach and then be unreachable. But I found out that she was actually just talking mad shit about me to the point where it was completely unacceptable to her friends for her to ever like speak to me. And I don't know everything she said, but she said a lot of like messed up, like fucked up shit that was not true. And I wish I would have known because then her friends like berated me when I tried to tell the truth. And yeah, so I started resenting Noah for not helping me, not supporting me when I needed him, making me feel like shit, like when I was in a really bad situation. Because you should not be making fun of people and berating them for being in an abusive situation. Because genuinely, in my situation, I did not know how to get out. Like, still, even in my mind, the only thing I could have thought of was calling the police, which was something I really didn't want to do. I really never wanted to get the police involved, but they are now, so that's cool. But, yeah, so Noah was like, give Cheyenne her hat back or I'm gonna get it myself. And, Tori told her friends that my friends were like, and I were like gonna stalk her and like show up to her house. And it's like, that was never what was happening. I wanted my hat back. You wouldn't tell me if you had my hat. You wouldn't answer the phone. You wouldn't text me, nothing. So, Noah took it into his own hands and he asked to get the hat back. And Tori admitted she did not have the hat. And yeah, after that, Noah left her alone because it was always about the hat. It's just annoying that, like, the lies she tells to her friends just, like, piss me off because it's like, girl, if that was true, that'd be kind of crazy, but it's not. Like, you could have told me, hey, I don't have your hat at any point, but you didn't. But when Noah asked about my hat, you answered. So it worked. I got my answer. And I eventually did find my hat. It was like buried in the closet in my old room at my parents' house, which is really bizarre because the last time I remembered wearing it was in Tori's car. It wasn't in her car, but like we went to see the Northern Lights, and I brought like my winter stuff because it was like 20 degrees out there or something. So when we got out of the car, look at them. Obviously, I put my hat and my jacket on, and I could have sworn I left it in her car, but I guess I took it off somewhere and it ended up in my old room in the closet. So whatever. But yeah, so then like Noah like ruined my birthday. All he wanted to do was like smoke. And it's like, it's my birthday. Why aren't we doing what I want to do and celebrating? But, you know, and mind you, like, he'd had months to like prep, and he like didn't get me a birthday present or anything. And it was really lame. Because, like, the only reason he really has money problems is because he spends way too much money on weed. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so the last time we hung out, um, obviously all the thoughts about how he's part of how I got stuck with Tori. And obviously I'm not gonna fully blame him because like I don't know, there's probably more I could do and I'm just a dumbass. Um but I wanted to go out and he just wanted to smoke, and that was like the cajillionth time that I went over there to hang out and he just wanted to stay in and smoke. And then like he started making out with Bryn and was like on top of her in bed. And I was like, "Hey, can you not do that? Like I'm uncomfortable." And he started like getting mad at me and all this shit, so I left. Then I called my friend Michael about everything. And I had all these memories that I just told you guys about, and more that I told Michael about. And so, yeah, we both came to the conclusion that I do not need to be friends with Noah anymore. And I had talked about it with my therapist multiple times. But one day, it was like a few days before his birthday, I felt this final push to just like send that friendship breakup text because I hadn't heard from him since he got mad at me and like everything in his apartment. And his birthday was coming up and I clearly wasn't invited, so I knew it was over. And I didn't send the long ass kind of mean text I drafted. I sent something like, I kept it short, sweet, like we are in very different places in our lives and I need to be around people who are getting their shit together and like going in like a positive direction in life, and not someone who is doing nothing to better their life and pisses all their money away on weed. And yeah, and I really don't regret that at all. I'll miss Bryn because it wasn't really her fault, but can't have one without the other when they live in the same apartment. And I have no idea how Bryn feels about this because she doesn't have a phone and she was kind of just quiet when me and Noah had our argument. So who knows? But yeah, so basically all that rambling, all those tangents, and three people, well, four people that I don't talk to anymore later. I guess moral of the story is when people make you feel bad, you do not have to keep them in your life. If you are constantly feeling drained or unfulfilled or upset, just remember you literally don't have to have those people in your life anymore. And hopefully, in my case, especially, I had other friends that are better. So I just, my mom was really worried about my social life for some reason. She's like, well, you've been friends with those people for so long. And I'm like, yeah. And I don't want to be friends with them anymore. Like, the shit with Noah was like, he was there for me. And a lot of times I needed him to be, but he was also there, and he also wasn't there when I needed him. And the last like 4 months of our friendship, it was just him constantly letting me down. So, yeah. Clara, I honestly did not see what happened coming, but it wasn't hard to cut her off because, like, I'd already had practice with Noah and Brandon. I remembered the important lessons of Tori, even though I kind of knew you should cut people off. But now I'm like actually doing it, and my life, shocker, is actually much better that way. Hanging out with people who actually like care and make me feel better and have a positive impact on my life, that I don't have to spend all my time like complaining and shit about. Because that's another thing. Like, a lot of my friendships are like solely based on complaining. I know it's like almost all that I do in my videos, but I also make these videos to get shit off my chest so that all my time with my friends isn't spent complaining. But yeah. And also, I really can't say a ton about Tori in these videos anymore because um the police are involved now. So, you know, some of this might not look the best in court, but at the same time, I didn't commit any crimes, and she did, so there's not much they can do to me due to the fact that I didn't do anything. I may sound like a vengeful, spiteful bitch, but also, she didn't have to do that to me, she chose to. But yeah, so semester's over, by the way. I don't know how I did yet because grades are still being posted, but I'm hoping I did good. And I might be back. I might not. Who knows? If anyone made it to the end of this video though, I hope you learned some important lessons because I sure had some important lessons to share, I think. And if you're being abused, there's a lot of hotlines you can call, and I hope there's people in your life that can support you and help you get out. And if you ever need a safe space to vent, you can do it in my comment section. That's all I do on this like channel, like in my videos. Like, get it out. You know? This is a safe space. But yeah, so things are still looking up. I just wanted to share these lessons I've learned and kind of do some mild bitching and moaning about life as of late. Yeah, I've been up all night and it's like pretty late now, so I don't think this video is any shorter than the other one. However, there are less tangents and I cried significantly less than the first time. And I think this one's more put together. So, yeah. Thank you if you watched this all the way. Bye.